What's going on, YouTube? Perhaps no other brand in the auto industry has such a comprehensive lineup of crossovers and SUVs as Toyota. The latest to join the lineup is the new member of the Crown family, the Crown Signia. This is a two-row utility, joining the likes of the extremely popular RAV4, but is promising a more refined and luxurious experience. So is the new Crown Signia worth the extra money and the smarter choice over the RAV4? Well, that's what we're going to be investigating today. So first off, let's discuss the pricing of these two SUVs before we get into the exterior, interior, and drive them. Starting with the popular RAV4, we have the sporty yet high-end XSE trim level. Toyota offers quite a few options, and our tester checked off almost all of those, making its total price $43,258 after destination. Moving to the all-new Crown Signia, we also have the trim with a sporty look, the Loaded Limited. This is definitely positioned as the more premium product, ending at $51,675 after adding in the same advanced technology package as the RAV4. By the way, if you want to get the best price from local dealerships and access to invoice pricing information for these two models or any new vehicle, we have a tool on our website to do just that. It's a great tool for shopping, so be sure to check out the link in the description for more information. If you're new to our comparisons, we do them in an objective way. We've done our best to weigh the points awarded throughout in major and minor categories. And towards the end, we will be accounting for the price difference in the value section, as well as going over a new thing that we've added to our comparisons, reliability and resale value information. But let's go ahead and get started with the exteriors. Now, you would probably not have any idea that these two are related to each other if it weren't for the Toyota badge on the front. The RAV4 goes for a tougher stance that is boxier and more traditional in its design, while the Signia looks very sleek and streamlined, especially with its body-colored grille. Both models have premium projector LED headlights, the Signia with a separated housing, and then neither of them have fog lamps. Continuing to the sides, the Crown looks a lot longer because it is. It has about a 13-inch advantage in overall length, but you'll probably be surprised by how that translates to interior space later on in this comparison. Nevertheless, for now, the Signia comes with much larger 21-inch alloys, and we'll also talk about ride quality later on. It's also worth noting that only the RAV4 offers a two-tone roof option for those of you who want a little extra flair. Next up, we have the rears. You may have your own opinion regarding the designs, but as far as features, you will find full LED taillights on the Crown and partially LED ones on the RAV4, exposed exhaust outlets on the RAV4 and hidden on the Crown, and then both of them have spoilers and gloss black trim that are roughly the same. If you're looking to tow, the Crown Signia can tow substantially more than the RAV4, at 2,700 pounds instead of 1,750 pounds. Now, moving on to some individual features, you will find nice mirrors on both. They have blind spot monitoring, heating, and LED turn signals, but power folding with reverse tilt down is Crown exclusive. Now, family SUVs need to be safe especially. And one of the really nice things about these two is that all four of your major active safety systems are included as standard equipment. Their warranties are of course also the same as well, including Toyota's 2 years and 25,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. But the biggest differences happen on the inside, so let's get into that. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
Approaching both SUVs, they have smart entry systems with the typical Toyota key fob. Remote start is available via the app for free during the trial period. Both models have sensors behind the door handles to unlock. And after opening up the doors, you're going to see quite nice cabins, especially in the case of the Crown. Before we dig into the features, let's start with the seats. While the seats themselves have the same number of adjustments, the Signia uses real leather on its seats, as opposed to the Softex leatherette on the RAV4. Both of them are heated, but the Crown is also ventilated with memory seats as equipped. Although I'll note both of those features are available on the RAV4 Limited without the equivalent sporty design. Now once inside the cabins, let's check out the major point category of material quality. It's probably not going to surprise you that the Crown Signia exceeds what the RAV4 is offering. Although it is nice too, the Crown goes for nearly Lexus level finishes and solidity. And we also have a wider variety of materials used. Upon startup, you'll start to come across the areas where these two are more similar. The digital gauge clusters are basically identical. Neither of them offer head-up displays for some reason, and they also have rain-sensing wipers. The steering wheels are both manual adjusting and leather-wrapped, even though the Crown has the newer Toyota design. Now it's time to evaluate another major interior section, storage. This is a big deal for many families, and in this regard, the RAV4 fights back. It's not only got more space in the center console, but a lot more cubby space in the middle and the passenger storage shelf. And that's despite the fact that the RAV4 is the one with the physical shifter instead of an electronic one. When in reverse, you'll see 360-degree camera systems on both, and above the dash are the climate controls. While RAV4 has simplified large knobs, they are both dual-zone automatic. We additionally have upgraded JBL audio systems on both models. We kind of expected the Crown to have an elevated sound, but they actually both have 11 speakers and about the same sound quality. One place where Crown is indeed elevated though is the main infotainment screen. It has a standard 12.3-inch screen compared to a 10.5-inch screen on the RAV4. Otherwise though, they both have the same Toyota software with built-in navigation and wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. As we wrap up the front of the cabins, both have auto-dimming mirrors with HomeLink remotes, and also the rear camera functionality if you flip the switch. Both also have panoramic sunroofs, but it's important to remember that the Crowns cannot open like the RAV4s can. But now as we turn our attention to the rear areas, you'll probably find a lot of this surprising. The first thing is that the significantly longer Crown Signia delivers the same legroom and less headroom than the RAV4. It's not over the 5% difference threshold required to score a point, but it is still worth noting for sure. Now that that's out of the way, they also have quite a few features. Both of them give you USB ports and rear vents, but Crown actually has standard heated back seats even on the base trim. Now let's see how much stuff you can bring along with you for the journey. This time there is a giant discrepancy of 41% for how much cargo space you get with the seats in place. That's due to the RAV4 being much more upright, giving you the ability to stack cargo more effectively. However, once you fold the back seats down, the gap narrows substantially with the extra length in the Signia. We still have a 5.4% advantage for the RAV4 though. Both their seats fold down, but the Crown gives you handles in the back to do that more easily. Alright, this race is getting tighter by the minute, but now it's time to head out to the streets. Powering both models are Toyota hybrid systems, but they are not the same. The RAV4 has 219 horsepower from its combination of a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine and electric motors, while the Crown Signia uses the same displacement engine and electric componentry to make 240 horsepower. While that is a notable advantage in power, the extra weight of the Crown means that they accelerate to 60 in just about the same amount of time. Alright, so there we go, off to the races with the RAV4 Hybrid. Now like we mentioned at the spec dump, actually the RAV4 Hybrid is more powerful than the traditional gas powertrain option. And in addition to just being more powerful, which this has 219 horsepower to remind you, it does also have that low-end electric torque. So when you get off the line, it has that nice sensation of acceleration. All right, and that was 60 miles per hour with the Crown Signia. Pretty nice acceleration, certainly not slow by any stretch of the imagination. And with this model, what do we have under the hood? So we've got Toyota's 4th generation hybrid system. This is combining a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine with the hybrid electric componentry, and total output on the Signia is 240 horsepower. When it comes to transmissions, both are using eCVTs that are very responsive. Power handoff between the electric motors and gas engines are smooth on both, since Toyota has been doing hybrid systems longer than pretty much anyone. The only thing you might notice is the sound of the engine when you're accelerating hard. Now, in terms of other powertrain things to mention, this does have a eCVT as your transmission. You also have standard all-wheel drive. All this is going to be working together quite nicely. It's a good and responsive feel as soon as you put your foot down. Now let's talk about an important part for any SUV, the ride quality. In this area, both impress. The RAV4 rides smoothly and is one of the better options in the class. But the Crown Signia really impresses because it's able to ride sublimely while still having 21-inch alloy wheels. The ride quality actually reminds us a lot of the Lexus RX with 21s.
Alrighty, and now we've finally turned on our designated highway stretch, and this is where I really want to spend a little bit of time talking about how good this RAV4 rides. Now, over the last 7 days, we have driven this vehicle quite a lot. I had a wedding to go to, so I drove it about 2 hours away and then road tripped back, so we've been in this vehicle for many hours at this point this week, and I have to say I'm very, very impressed with the ride quality. But let's go ahead and talk about ride quality for this Crown Signia. This vehicle, like we've said multiple times, is kind of like a little bit of a Lexus for less because it's going for that luxury demographic. Now, one of the things I do want to point out about this ride quality is that it is very, very good. So, like I mentioned, we've driven this for several hours at this point, and when you hit a bump, it does a very good job of soaking it up. Even with the large 21-inch alloy wheels, I've been really nothing but impressed when it comes to the ride quality. I think this is a pretty significant step up over something like a RAV4, that's for sure.
But that aside, how quiet are the cabins? Here at Car Confections, we take a sound level reading of every vehicle we test on our channel. Unsurprisingly, we did get a bit lower decibel reading in the Crown. And this reading was taken on a rougher road near the Mexican border in Southern California. Nevertheless, until we get our official reading back home in Kentucky, we won't be grading this.
Let's do our signature sound level test, see how quiet this cabin is. We have settled in at 56.7 decibels as 54.6 is our official sound level reading, which I think is very, very impressive.
Lastly, both of them achieve excellent fuel economy overall. The RAV4 will have the advantage of about 2 mpg, although I do want to point out that the Signia's mpg figure is estimated by Toyota and is not yet finalized by the EPA yet. In our reviews and comparisons, we are also adding in reliability and resale value information to give you a better picture of the overall value beyond just the original MSRP. Beginning with reliability, we developed the Combined Reliability Index, which takes into account several studies from trustworthy sources and combines them in a way that gives you a more holistic picture. Toyota is our #1 highest rated brand, being 16 slots above the industry average. We also put Mason's economics degree to work to develop a detailed predicted resale value tool. After 5 years and 60,000 miles, Toyota has the industry's second highest predicted resale value of 64.5%. These are both brand-wide metrics. While resale value is obviously very important, one of the biggest points of this comparison is evaluating if the Crown Signia is worth the extra money, so let's dive into value. When comparing these two, there is a substantial $8,417 price difference between them. We use a value chart based on MSRP to determine how many points that's worth, and in this case it falls under a half point per $1,000 of difference category. This means the RAV4 will be awarded plus 4 points. I want to emphasize though, if money matters less to you personally, feel free to disregard these points. And if you'd like to check out all our data about reliability and resale values, as well as learn about our methodology, make sure to head over to carconfections.com/resale and /reliability. Buying a car is a big decision, and this is a great place to compare all the vehicle makes that you might be cross-shopping. Well, that's it for another comparison, this time a sibling rivalry comparison. But let's go ahead and recap here a little bit, as well as talk about who should be your personal winner between these two. So the Crown should be your winner if you're looking for luxury that is certainly going to be elevated above what you get in the RAV4. Also, if you're looking for that sleeker design, the Signia actually kind of looks almost a little bit wagon-esque, so it certainly is very different from the RAV4. And then third, also if you're looking for some premium features that just aren't available on the RAV4.
Now, on the flip side, the RAV4 should be your choice if you prefer the bigger cargo capacity as well as rear seat space. It's surprisingly larger than the more expensive Crown Signia. Also, it does offer a panoramic moonroof that opens. That might be a big deal for those of you that like the wind blowing in your hair. I know I do, so that's kind of an important difference. Additionally, it gets better fuel economy and, of course, has a lower price tag, so you're going to be saving money overall. So which of these two are you taking? Let us know your thoughts down below. We're very interested in knowing. And if you're looking to buy either of these products or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and there's also a pinned comment at the top of this video. If you're new to our channel, welcome in. We would encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.